And welcome to my channel. In this video I'll show you how to completely flush your power steering fluid on a Mercedes-Benz. This is for the M113 engine, but it applies to many other models of Mercedes-Benzes and actually other cars as well. Really any power steering tank that has a return line, this should work on it. If you're using a jack and jack stands, which is not necessary for this job, it just makes it easier, then you need to apply the emergency brake and chuck the wheels and place the jack point right underneath the front center jack point, and then raise the front of the car only. Because you'll have to turn the wheel left and right all the way quite a few times. It just makes it so much easier to do it by having the front of the car up. Now when you measure using the dipstick, when you measure the final fluid level at the end of the job, as I'll show you, you'll have to lower the car. But if you don't own a jack or jack stands, then don't worry, you can do this on the ground too. Just follow the same procedure minus jacking the car. You will need a screwdriver, some silicone or rubber plugs. You'll need to, and that's pretty much it, some shop towels and the fluid itself. You need to remove the driver's side hose, air hose. It's right there, the return line, where the fluid comes out of the tank. And so using a screwdriver, you'll have to undo that. Prior to it, put something underneath to collect any fluid that may come out, as you'll and some shop towels, and you'll need a catch container of some sort as you remove the return line to put it under the tank's nipple. I'm pretty much showing everything in this video. I may have cut just a few of the clips, but so this is real time. It should give you a good sense of how long this job takes. Really, you don't need more than half an hour to do it. By the way, you'll also need some suctioning, siphoning device, maybe a turkey baster. You can get that from anywhere in the US, Walmart, wherever. And so you want to remove everything that's in the tank, all the old oil from the tank. As you can see, the color here, it's brown. It should be actually kind of light green. Last time I did this on this car was 50,000 miles ago, so it was longer than I usually replace the power steering fluid. It should be done about every 30,000 miles. If you want to extend the life of your power steering system, then that's what I recommend. Every 30,000 miles you should replace it. And as you can see, the return line is right underneath the tank, so the more you can remove, the less fluid will drip out. And now if some does drip, it doesn't matter, as long as you have something underneath to catch it. Once you remove the screw, using the same screwdriver, you kind of push it out while you're pulling on the hose, and it should come off pretty easily. And so I take it out and I will put it in the catch container, and as you can see, hardly anything, well, nothing is coming out. and the reason is because I suction all of the oil out. And this is the silicone plug. I've gotten this from Amazon. I think 50 pieces, different sizes and diameters for $11. Comes in handy in many applications. So I highly recommend that you purchase something like that. If you don't have it, that's fine. You can use a catch container there. But actually you will need a plug of some sort so that you can keep filling the tank. And so once you do that, then move the steering wheel all the way to the left, all the way to the right, and some more of the old fluid come out, and then you can start adding oil. Now this oil I'm using is the one that you should be using. Don't use only use the one that Mercedes-Benz recommends. You see the color of the fluid, it's quite dark and brown. It should be light green. It's the Pentosan 11 CHF 11S, S as in Sierra, and I found the cheapest to be available online in European online auto shops, auto parts stores such as fcpeuro.com, autohouseaz.com, and I haven't looked at Amazon. Probably this about $19 now. If you were to get this, and you can from brick and mortar auto parts stores such as in the U.S. AutoZone, Advance Auto, O'Reilly's, and others, but probably for twice or even more, twice the price or more. So if you have time, it's best to order it online. Even with the shipping that you may have to pay, it will still be cheaper. And of course, some online stores such as FCP Euro, if you purchase about $50 worth of products, then shipping is free. And as you can see, the color is beginning to turn. It's kind of light green mixed with dark brown, so it's coming out as dark green. But what you want to do is to just keep filling the tank all the way up to the top, and then turn the wheel, and so the old fluid will keep coming out and the new fluid will replace it. And at some point, once you're getting close to 1 liter, if all you bought is 1 liter, you want to you want to do about half a liter, use about half a liter for flushing, a little more than half. I would say 60% of the can, 600 milliliters, used to flush, and then leave some to fill the tank at the end, and then to make the final adjustments. But I purchased a full liter, and I have some left over from a previous job, so I'm going to use about 1,300 liters, milliliters to do this. About a can and a third of another can, something like that. And so really not much to it, but but it truly does your power steering system a lot of good. And as you can see here now, the color is turning to almost what's in the can. So it's the fresh fluid is beginning to come out, and so you wanna once you see this, do another another some more, maybe half a tank or so. And then you want to close the return line, and that would be it. And I'll show you how to check the level. Now, if you don't have time, there's another way to do this too, which I'm not doing here. I've done in the past successfully, and that is, and for that you want to make sure that the tank always has some fluid in it, that it's at least half full. You can turn the car on and leave it on for just about 1 second, 1.5 seconds, and each time you do that, you'll have some of the fluid flushed out. But I wouldn't recommend doing that so that you don't ruin your system, because if you leave it on for too long, then then it could cause issues. If it sucks out of the tank more fluid than you have there, so then you could ruin your system. But so there are really two methods to do this. Well, there's a third method too, that you don't disconnect the return hose at all. You suction everything that's in the tank and replace it with as much new fluid. You drive it for a little while, let's say 50 miles, 60 miles, then you repeat, and you keep repeating until what you get out of the tank is looking fresh, so that's another way if you don't want to keep turning the wheel, or if you want to do it over a few days. But this is I think the best and easiest way, probably not the easiest way, but the best way and the fastest way to do it. You do it one time within a half an hour and you're done. Now once you reconnect the return line, of course you want to turn on the car and keep putting in fluid while you're turning the wheel, the steering column, and you want to keep turning it right and left all the way until you feel it stopped, and you'll hear the noise, of course, it stops, and then you turn it the other way until it hits the end of it, and then turn it the other way, and you keep doing this to get rid of any air bubbles inside the system. So this is a must using this technique that you keep turning it left and right, and I'll show you here the bubbles forming, air bubbles, and you want to keep doing this until you don't see any more bubbles forming. And right now it kind of looks, foamy, and once the bubbles are gone, it will appear clear, and then you still have to do some more. I would recommend anywhere between 10 to 20, closer to 20 turns to the right and to the left. And once you've done that, lower the car if you have jacked it up. If you haven't, then you go to the next step, which is to check the level. Now, the dipstick, which is part of the cab, the tank cab, it has measurements on it, minimum and maximum for cold engine, and minimum maximum for warm engine. So 20 degrees centigrade and 80. So you want the fluid level to be between the minimum and max for cold engine. So you want to check it one time. You can check it once you've done the flushing. You have just turned the car on and you have done the 15-20 turns right and left, so it's still cold, and so you want the level to be at the maximum of 20 degrees. And then you want to take it for a drive, let the engine temperature go up, and then after, let's say, 20 minutes of driving or so, come back and check it again, and it should be between the minimum and maximum marks of the 80 degrees. And that means that you have it correctly filled. So if you have more, vacuum a little at a time. If you have less, a little at a time, more, add more. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.